Alright guys, so today I'm going to do another cooking video, a dessert. You know I love to cook, and I've got to use my kitchen, put a lot of effort into it. You know guys, I want you to know, I built this kitchen.
We built this kitchen.
We built this kitchen. Hey there YouTubers, the G-Man from Texas here, bringing you a brand new video. Alright guys, it's going to be a super simple, delicious recipe. We're going to start with fresh peaches from my peach tree. And I call this the recipe of one. That's how simple it is. 1 cup of sugar, 1 stick of butter, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, and 1 cup of peaches. Can't get any simpler than that, guys. So watch, enjoy, and if you like it, leave me a comment. I'm going to start by peeling the peaches. These came out pretty small. We had a big drought this year, but they're still nice and ripe and delicious. Okay, so we're going to cut it up first. I'm going to cut it in half and take that pit out of there. Take it out of there because we're not going to eat that, guys. That is the seed of the peach. I'll throw that out. Then with a smaller knife, I'm just going to get some of that hard reddish stuff that's left behind. Just a little bit in the surface. And I'm going to put that aside. Oh gosh, that's so delicious. Okay, so what I do with these little red stuff, I give it to my wife, the craft lady, and she makes ink out of it. Okay, so because I'm not using canned peaches in syrup, I'm going to make my own syrup. And what I do is I pour a cup of sugar over all these peaches, stick them in the fridge for a while, a few hours, overnight, and that creates its own syrup. And as sweet as it can be. Really, really good, guys. Okay, so now they're all sugary. I'm gonna stick it in the fridge, and maybe 3 hours or so. I might even leave it overnight. Okay, so let's recap, all right? The rule of one. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of flour, 1 stick of butter, 1 can of peaches. Now, that's the simplest way to do it. I don't have a can of peaches. As you saw, I have peach trees. I got fresh peaches. For this, there's some extra ingredient. Some extra cup of sugar, right? Because I put a cup of sugar on top of my sliced peaches and put them in the refrigerator for a few hours. I actually did it last night. And it became a syrup, just like the can. So if you're using a can, it's just a cup of sugar, a cup of flour, mix it in there, a cup of milk. In this case, there's an extra cup of sugar that goes on top of the fresh peaches to make the syrup. Is that simple enough, guys? Let me know if you don't understand. All right. So I'm preheating the oven at 400 degrees. What I want to do, this will give you enough for like a 9x9 pan. But I'm doing 2 small pans because I'm giving one to a friend of mine. So the stick of butter is already melting. Had it out for a while. I'm going to put it in the oven and let it melt. In the meantime, in a bowl, I wish I had a glass bowl. In a bowl, I'm going to do the cup of sugar, the cup of flour, and the cup of milk, and I'm going to stir that in, right? Once the butter's melted, I'm going to put this mix in the pan, and then to the next step. All right, so cup of sugar, azúcar, cup of self-rising flour, voila. And now for the cup of milk. We're gonna stir it all up, guys. Stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Making that mixture for the easiest peach cobbler you've ever made. Alright, you see me? Yeah. Sorry guys, I had to put some pants on now so I could get this shot. You know, I was cooking with no pants. It's a country, there's nobody around. We don't wear pants in this house. Anyway, the butter is melted. I'm going to pour the batter in there. Almost enough. All right, so we got them in there. You just got to watch it. We're going to leave them there at 400 degrees until the edges look cooked. Then we're going to take them out and put our peaches in. Now here's a very important trick to this, guys. The peaches cannot go into the batter cold or room temperature. You gotta heat them up. So I threw them in the microwave for about 4 minutes till they were nice and warm. That is an essential part of this recipe. They must be warm. Even if they're the canned peaches, you've got to warm them up. Now I'll tell you one thing. There is no way in the world that canned peaches taste anywhere close to a fresh peach, especially with the sugar and you make your own syrup. It is totally different. It's insanely good. It gives you a taste of the sweetness, but it remains a taste of a peach. You don't get that in the can. If you don't have a peach tree, guys, because you live in the city, buy some peaches at the Whole Food store or something like that, and go the extra mile. And guys, if you don't like to cook, most of you are fishermen and stuff like that subscribe to me. It's a great recipe to give your wife or a friend that likes to do it. You know, guys, we are simplistic people. Men are simplistic. My recipes are simple. Women will appreciate simplicity. You know, I could do arroz con pollo in the Instant Pot. Just throw it in there. 15 minutes is done. It's simplicity. So this is a simple, fast. I don't even have to put the ingredients and stuff on the description, although I will. That's how simple this is and how great it is. I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, looking through the glass, those edges look to me that they're cooked already. They don't necessarily have to be brown or anything, just looking cooked. And you rose a little bit and everything. So we're gonna take them out and pour the peaches in. They're pre-warmed peaches. Here's another important tip. Don't stir the peaches in. You just throw them in there. Let them sink into the batter, okay? You don't want to stir this. This is a cobbler. This is not a soup or anything like that. You throw them in there all around. What I do, I do mash them a little bit inside. But you don't stir. Remember, peaches must be warm, and you don't stir them. And yeah, throw the syrup in there. I mean, you know, moderate. Here we go. We got it. Yeah, so I got just a few left in there on purpose because I want to eat them with my hands. That's how delicious they are. See that? Okay, you pat them down. Now I'm going to reduce the oven heat to 350, and I'm going to leave them there until they're all nice and done. Probably take about 20 minutes, maybe 25. Check them out though, about 20. Make sure you don't burn them. But you reduce that to 350. Let's do it. 350. Yeah, stick them back in there very carefully. Don't use a convention setting on the oven if you're going to use these light aluminum pans. If you do glass, that's fine. Just for your oven. These light aluminum pans, you know, they're not as strong as a glass container. And we'll give it about 20 minutes. Check them out, maybe 25. And that's all you do. The next step is the best, the eating. All right, everybody, it's been like 25 minutes, and they look done to me. There we go. I'm gonna put them now, place them on a cooling rack. Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Look at that. Bubbly and starting to brown on the edges. That's when it's done. I'll place them there on the cooling rack. And wait for them to get cool before we stick them in the refrigerator or even give them a taste. Don't that look delicious? These are, I believe, 5x8 little pans. So I decided to do 2 small pans instead of 1 big one because I'm going to give this one to my friend and this one to my belly. Wait for the taste test. And it tastes divine. Oh my God, you've done it again. Guys, how simple can it just be? Gman from Texas, recipe of 1. Try it out. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Until next time, guys, enjoy. And like I always say, peace, y'all.